Welcome to Kingdom Community South Africa. This is the youth program presented by the Kingdom Youth. In a world influenced by status, fame, charm, and deception, we, the youth of the Kingdom of God, are living amidst a world culture. There may come a time where we conform to standards of the world, backslide, and maybe even compromise our salvation in this desolate and vain environment. Being exposed to this negative environment is not a problem. We are to expect adversity, trials, and tribulations. However, as children of God, if we are not influencing the kingdom of God in this environment, that is the problem. Join us as we learn and discover our mandate and authority as children of God to influence the kingdom of God in our world today.
Good evening, Kingdom Youth. Welcome back to another session of Kingdom Youth. Tonight is a very special night because we have a very, very special guest. I'm very excited. Our special guest today is the leader of Kingdom Community South Africa, this community that we keep on mentioning over and over in our podcasts, and that all the guests that you've seen on the show are actually serving in. We have Senior Ambassador Charlie Masela, so I'd just love to welcome him to the youth platform. Welcome, sir.
Well, it's great to be on this platform, and I'm excited to be back on the youth track. I've been gone for a while.
You have been.
It's great to be back, and it's an honor to be featured this evening, and I'm looking forward to the deliberations that we're going to have, and it's always a pleasure.
Yes.
And it's even more exciting that we are broadcasting from our own campus, from our own land. That gives me a lot of joy, knowing that the Lord has delivered this property to us, so speedily. So I'm excited that we have a home where we can do stuff like this.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go straight into it because I have many questions that I'd like to ask you and engage with you. For the young people, I think the first question that I actually have is, how do you discover your leadership gift? How do you discover that you're a leader?
How do you discover your leadership? It's a very interesting question. Leadership, it's an interesting journey. Leadership is not a place where you would say I've arrived, but it's a journey. But it's a journey of discovery, but the discovery of purpose. That is the main thing that everybody has to look at in discovering themselves first, because your leadership is hidden in your purpose. Whatever you were born to be, which is actually what God designed you to be, should be the pursuit of every young person, every individual who is alive, must ensure that they discover the reason why they were born. When you discover the reason why you were born, then you have discovered your leadership gift. So your leadership gift is hidden in the you that God created to serve the world. So all of us were created by God to serve the world.
Okay.
To serve a particular service and the product to the world. So when you discover that which you were prepared to serve, and all of us were prepared by God and sent from heaven to earth by God with a gift. So that gift is hidden in us. Every one of us has that gift. The challenge is discovering it.
Yes, I was actually going to come back to you to say, I hear you using the word hidden in us a lot. So
yes.
Can you maybe just share with the youth one or two tips, practical things that they can do to discover that gift?
To discover that gift, yeah. Well, first of all, you must ask yourself questions. As I was growing up, my way of discovering what I was going to be good at and what I was supposed to be doing came in as a desire. I desired to be in charge of the people. So each time I find myself in a place, I always wanted to be the one who is suggesting what must be done,
Yes.
where we must go, and so on. And when as I was growing up, then I discovered that there is actually a degree you can study towards that.
Oh,
And
wow.
I discovered that gift was human resources management.
Interesting.
Because I had a desire to just be a supervisor.
Yes.
You see, so I felt I needed, I felt that I was born to be in charge. I must look at carrying everybody with me to a
Yes.
particular journey,
Wow.
and so on. Which is why, even in my youth, we have been traveling the SADC. I've been traveling the SADC since I left high school.
Wow.
Since I left high school, I've been, I went to Botswana a long time ago. When I just finished high school, without, even a lot of money. It was
Yes.
just whatever you get. You just, I felt I needed to take a passport because I wanted to know the world, and and making friends has never been a difficult thing for me to do. So as I was growing up, that's how I discovered. That is how I discover what I was to be. I have an
Yes.
interest, that deep interest, which you just know in your Noah.
Yes.
That you are going to, you are this. This is you.
And I remember
And that's one. And that's one.
Okay.
That's one way of discovering it.
Yes.
It can come as a dream to you, something that you really want to do, like with me, as a desire to do something. It can come as a desire, come
Okay.
as a dream. It can also come as discovery of something that you always want to do.
Okay.
Something that you enjoy doing. There are people who are teachers, for example, but they know that what they would rather be doing and what they like to do is to cook.
Yes.
So that person, it might be that really their gift is in the area of being a chef
Yes.
or something, but they might be making money through teaching, but their real leadership gift might be hidden in
The area
in
of cooking. Yes.
You see, so that's how you discover. There's many ways that you can discover. Sometimes
Yeah.
you don't even discover it yourself, but other people see it in you,
That's so
and
true.
they start to love what you do. They start to engage you more, and they start to order the stuff that you make.
Yes.
And that brings like confirmation, when people buy into what you're doing and so on. So those are the different ways that you can discover. But it's also hidden in you wanting to express yourself. Every leadership gift, it's hidden, and it comes out through an expression.
Okay.
So you should be willing to express yourself. When you when you are not afraid to express yourself, the real you will come out in your expression.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the thing. So which is why, to discover your gift also, you must also be a person who have decided that nothing in the world will intimidate you.
Okay.
Okay, so if you're still intimidated by people and what they say and what they think about you, if you stay too long in that rut, you might not be what God has designed you to be, because you will always be worried about what are people saying, what are people thinking about me, what are people, do people buy who you are, and so on. Then you remain in a prison of the opinions of others.
Of others, yeah.
But when you if you want to discover your gift, really, you got to ensure that you claim that independence.
Wow.
Of other people's opinions of you, because if you let other people's opinions of you to become your reality, then you will have difficulties in in becoming the real you that God wants you to be in the world.
Okay, I think that was, yeah, a mouthful, young people. I hope that you're listening and you're taking tips. And I think what he just said is not just relevant for the youth, but I think even parents who are watching this, you know, with their kids, to definitely pick up some of those tips that he has mentioned to, you know, journey with your child in this journey of self-discovery.
And here is another one. There is another one that you can look at. Of how you can discover your
leadership
your leadership gift, or your gift.
Okay.
Sometimes it shows up in what makes you not happy when you look at it. You know, there are situations where you
Yes.
just know with passion that when this thing is not seated properly, or when this thing is it's not present here, you know, when this thing is not well positioned there,
Yes.
most of the time that actually can show you what you're passionate about. You know, sometimes we are in a trip, you know, we're driving and we come across an accident spot, and you find someone that you're driving with, you know, when everybody say, oh, let's pass, you know, I can't even look at, oh, let's pass. And then someone says, stop, I want to quickly go and help.
Yeah.
You know, that person could be an engineer right now, or a teacher. But really, if they ask themselves, you might find that you really have a paramedic there.
Definitely.
You know, so whatever bothers you when it's not fixed could be a clue to your
leadership gift.
Yeah.
Okay, that's, yeah.
Which is why
That's a good one.
we should embrace working hard, because it's difficult for you to discover your leadership gift if you are lazy. Because if you are lazy, you won't be able to experiment.
Yeah, true.
To know what you know, what you
to actually expose yourself to.
Yeah, you got to expose yourself to situations and be ready to run after situations. And that is why I think Paul, and I was reading this week in 2 Thessalonians,
Okay.
and chapter 3, you know, from verse 3 going down. It's very interesting that Paul talks about, he talks to the people in Thessalonica, the believers,
Okay.
you know, the community in Thessalonica. He says, I've heard of you, you know, he's talking about hearsay. You know, that's where I looked at that and I said, Paul believed in hearsay.
Yes.
So he says, we have heard that amongst you, there are people who are lazy,
Sure.
who don't want to work with their
Yes.
hands. And then he says, don't associate with those people. He says, alienate them. Don't hate them, but just don't associate with them, because, you know, and then he talks about don't associate with them if they don't follow our teachings and so on. But he says also the idle ones, the ones who are lazy.
Yeah.
He says don't associate with them. And that is where, as it goes down, that's where he said, the one who, and he says that we have shown you through example that we didn't eat what we didn't earn.
Yes.
So he's saying, whatever we ate, it's what we have worked for. You know, so he's encouraging, Paul is encouraging people to work hard. And it's in that working hard where you discover you know, your leadership gift.
Definitely.
You know, so he says, and that's the same. Actually, that's the same chapter where you get that line which says, "The one who doesn't work must not even eat."
Eat, yes.
That's Paul who said.
Makes it very clear.
And he said it on that very passage. So hard work is something that we must, as kingdom citizens, embrace. We must embrace working hard. We must embrace hard work. We must embrace the idea that I can't just wake up and stay in bed until 10 o'clock, 11 a.m. And you know, it's not a good thing for a young person to do.
Yes.
You know, and as I was growing up, my dad always wanted us to be doing something because my dad has always been working.
Okay.
You know, from the time I was young,
Yeah.
I've never seen my dad wake up in bed and so on, and you know, and he was not sickly, so he would always be active. He died at 91. At 91, in 2018,
Okay.
and he was still active until the day he died. My dad, at 91.
Wow.
You see, he was not able to go out to the fields anymore,
Okay.
or to do piece jobs for others.
Yes.
You know, because he used to have a lot of trades. My dad could thatch roofs. My dad could make fences. You
Okay.
know, his hands were hard. My dad has hard hands. If you touch the hand, my dad's hand, you would feel like you have touched a wood or something. So he had a work ethic, you know, which all of us at our home, I don't recall anyone who is lazy amongst my brothers and my sisters. Why? Because we grew up seeing parents who were hard workers. Even my mom was like that. She just didn't have hard hands.
Hard hands.
But she was,
She
you know,
was
even
really
unto this
working.
day. My mom is 83 this year, and she is still sewing with a sewing machine, a Singer machine.
Wow.
Making, you know, during COVID, she was making
Masks.
the masks, and she makes dresses and so on. There's actually, as we're celebrating her 80th birthday, we even had pictures of models who were
Oh, nice.
modeling using her clothes.
Yes.
You know, that's my mom. And she, when we were young, she would, when it was, you know, it used to be illegal in the apartheid government to make
Okay.
umtomboti and stuff like that,
Oh,
and
yes,
pie
yes,
and stuff like
yes.
that. So it was not allowed to make those kind of
Traditional
traditional
beverages.
beverage. Yeah, but it's not beverage.
It's not even beverages. It's
Yeah.
just
alcohol.
Yeah,
I'll call
alcohol.
it alcohol.
yes.
So my mother used to make plans for us because she had to educate my elder sister, who then became a teacher and a principal. But the point I'm making is that they always were working, and because they were always working, we picked that
That work ethic from
work
them.
ethic from them, and it helped us discover our own gifts. You know, we all do different things, but you know, the spirit of it,
Yes.
we got it from our parents, definitely.
Okay, so with the time we have left now, I just want to ask one question. So now that a young person has discovered this leadership gift,
Yeah.
then what? What's the next step?
Well, when you discover your leadership gift, the next step is that you must serve it to the world. Okay. There is no gift that God gives you for you. When God gives you a gift, He always having other people in mind.
So it'll never just be about
So
you.
it's never just about you. So which is why, you know, you must be, if you are to be successful in life, you must learn to serve the community. And again, I go to my dad because he was such a great example of this. We lived in the villages
Okay.
where the roads were not paved. You know, so we drove in dirt roads. So after the rains, there would be potholes and so on.
Yes.
You know, my dad would, and that, I mean, the road from our home to where you find the next paved road was like 7 kilometers.
Sure.
Okay. I remember my dad fixing the roads. He would come out with a wheelbarrow and a pick and a shovel and go and fill up
Those potholes.
those potholes when he
Wow.
didn't have a car himself. And he would say, a bakery is coming here to bring bread for the community. and I want it to be able to pass.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So that means that, that taught me that when you serve your gift, don't always look for to be paid
Yes.
or for people to give you
That
accolades and stuff like that,
recognition.
recognition. You know, so that's how I serve. That's why sometimes people who are mind who are not well in their minds, who are actually what can I say? What is the correct word to say? Those who are brainwashed in their minds by capitalism.
Yes.
You know, they don't understand people like us because we do a lot of things for people, and sometimes they think that you are giving that money to that person because you want
To
one,
get
two, three.
something and yeah.
Or you are doing this thing, or you're visiting that person so you get this and that, because that's how
Yes.
our world operates.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, with us, we are able to go along an extra mile, you know, without any promise of you know, pay or recognition or whatever. We are not motivated by that. We are motivated by serving our gift to the world. So when you discover your leadership gift, you must then serve it to the world. As you serve it to the world, then you get your leadership refined, because you can't refine something that you are not working on.
Yes.
And then when you refine it, you become best at it. And when you become best at it, people start to now say, okay, we would like to, for you to do 1, 2, 3 for us.
Yes.
And they pay. They pay you to do what you enjoy doing. That's the
Yes.
beauty. That's the beauty part of you know, serving your leadership gift, because you are doing something that come out natural and come out easy from you.
Yes.
But the people are willing to pay you know, the highest dollar for it. You see?
Okay. Yeah.
So those who just like to have money and so on, they, you know, the world is filled with parasites. These are people who just want to eat from others, but they are not willing to put in the effort, and that is wrong. And that's what Paul
Is saying to not
against.
associate.
It's against. He's saying those kind of people don't even associate with them. You know, he's saying, he actually continues to say, don't associate with them so that they can be embarrassed. He uses the word embarrassed
Okay.
in their state, which means that
Yes.
Paul never wanted to not address people because he thought, because of what people say, what will people say, or, you know, they will think I'm rude. No, Paul was straightforward. This is the letter that is writing to a community. So this letter, in other words, is a kind of a letter which would not be read by individuals in their private spaces.
Yeah.
It will be read on
Publicly.
on a public platform of what Apostle is saying about the community
What he's observed.
and what he observed and what he have heard. He said, we have observed and we have heard that there are some amongst you who are so lazy.
Yeah. So I hope you're listening, young people, that we do not want to be considered under that category. And that definitely, for me, what's standing out right now is you need to serve your gift. And in serving your gift, that is when it gets refined. So don't be afraid to actually put yourself out there as a young person, whether it's in your local church, in your community, in your school, in your family. Whenever you see that there's work to be done, also get in there and get involved, you know. So now, Senior, just as a closing point, I just want you to address the youth. Maybe some of the youth as well who have made certain decisions that maybe have moved them away from their leadership gift, or who feel they're in a state of confusion.
Yes.
Yes, because we hear this thing where they like saying the youth are lost, the youth are confused.
Yeah.
Those that are in that confusion, I just want you to address them.
I really have a burden and feel for the youth of our country and the countries of the world, since I travel so much. My concern about the youth today is that most of them are really parented by gadgets. They've been parented by gadgets. Maybe you have no parent really who sits with you and walk you the way like I was privileged to have. But you don't have to be coming from a perfect model family for you to be successful. I want you to know that you got to take it upon yourself to develop. You know, in my journey, I'm a product of a lot of input. Of course, first from my own family, but also from out there in other leaders who have helped me to become what I've become. So what I want you to know is that as a young person, for you to discover your gift, we gave you those keys. But I want to also remind you that for you to be successful in life, you would need to appreciate and put effort in building your foundation. Okay, a building, as you see it here, the main thing that really make this building stand for many years, this particular building we are recording from today, is 50 years old. It's 50 years old this year. That is how old it is, but it has been standing since. But I can tell you that the fact that it's still standing after the tornadoes and after all the rains and everything that beat up this house is because it has a powerful foundation. By the way, this house was built by a man with a very great work ethic, someone who used to use his hands. He reminded me most of the time of my dad. You know, he built this house. Every brick here, he laid it himself, wow. The previous owner of this place. So he told me about the foundation that he put here, that because it's a rocky place, there's stones here. So he said that helped him a lot to ensure that he can have an even much stronger foundation. So the foundation is the strongest part of the building, and so it should be the strongest part of your life. Okay, so build that strong foundation. So in other words, find those habits which are workable and positive habits, and engage on positive habits in your life if you are to win. Why? Because if you are going to be engaging on negative habits and energy, your life will end up in a place where you don't desire it to be. So I would say that build on a strong foundation where you're taking care of educating yourself. You know, now as you are young, there are people paying your school fees and so on. So use that opportunity to educate yourself so that you can worth something. You know, when you are educated and you have a degree behind your name, that helps you to find opportunities. All these qualifications that we get are really papers to help us be accepted, help us start. So I mean, where I am now, I don't really use none of those, but you need it when you start. When you start, you're looking, people are going to require that. They're going to require that at least your head is not only full of Netflix and computer games, that at least you know something, you have a particular skill that you can use in their companies and promoting what they are doing and growing it. So make yourself a person of value by volunteering to do some work, volunteer in companies, volunteer in homes, volunteer in every place where you think you can add value. In that adding of value, people will be able to realize that leadership gift, and they will trust you with more. So that's how it works. And don't rush into relationships and so on before you understand yourself. Understand in that part of building that strong foundation, it's about building yourself, ensuring that you are a person who is valuable. And to do that, you must educate yourself, volunteer, make yourself vulnerable, make yourself available for people who are doing something already, because that is where you are going to be able to also refine your gift. There are so many things that we can share, but of course we don't have much time to do that, as I see our time is gone. But that's my heart. I would really love you to concentrate, invest in yourself, invest in positive knowledge. It doesn't help to know all these other things that are happening, which doesn't take you anywhere. You know, learn how to take care of you. Learn how to not even get yourself involved in alcohol abuse and drugs and so on, because those things will never help you to become that which you were born to be. You will never be a leader when you are never sober. So you got to work on your sobriety and on yourself, your career, your skills.
Yes.
You know, develop yourself, develop your mind. You know, today, I mean, I go to many situations where people find me usable.
Yes.
Because I have taken care of me. Okay, I'm 52 years old this year, but you can't see it because I have taken care of my physical body.
Yes.
Okay, so when you take care of your physical body as a young person, you also add on it helps add on your life. You know, people of my age in my village, they are much older than I am. Okay, actually I met them today, and it's like I can say, daddy, to people that I've been going to, who I know were in the same class together. You know, some of them, you know, ran away from school, start to engage in sex and drugs and alcohol. Today, they are really nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
You know, in places where they're helping the nation, because they are just, you know, they just gotten wasted away in the community.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. I'm pretty sure that the young people are listening and that they hear your heart, and that definitely I know they will apply, you know, all these skills that you're giving. Thank you so much for joining us. This was really, really a special session. And let's just go out there as young people and apply ourselves, make ourselves available, make ourselves vulnerable. Let's not, you know, sit in the corner and not put our hands, let's put our hands up when there are things happening in our communities, in our schools. And that is how we are going to discover our leadership gifts, and that is how it will be refined and add to our communities and to our country. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you on our next episode. Good night.